Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
When choosing a dentist for our family, Tupelo Smiles was the answer for us. They greet us with warm smiles right when we walk in the door, and they make us feel so welcome. We love Tupelo Smiles.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Good evening and happy early Thanksgiving here from Mississippi Live Weather. Welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe, and yes, we are tracking a forecast you can definitely be thankful for here in the next couple of hours, already starting today, but carrying that over into our Thanksgiving forecast. Let's go ahead and get into those headlines, and the first one being, well, you may have to thaw out for Thanksgiving, meaning it's going to be a cold start to the day. So as you get out the door, going to have to crank that heat up or have layers ready in order to stay warm throughout that Thanksgiving holiday. But be excited for that Friday forecast because the Egg Bowl looking good to go with dry conditions. Again, coming at a cost with those temperatures being at or around freezing as we get that Friday forecast started. But as we get into that Egg Bowl time frame, have some layers and you'll be good to go, especially if you're ringing a cowbell and keeping that adrenaline going. And I couldn't think of a fun one for the last one, but rain returning this weekend. Not exactly a fun forecast, especially for our weekend forecast, but we'll have a look at that coming up here at the 10 o'clock hour. The first 12 here at the Room to Room Weather Center highlighting a dry forecast overnight, but look at those temperatures, 37 around 11, falling off into the mid to potentially low 30s for the start of our Thanksgiving. So if you're waking up early to get that turkey ready, have that heat going right now because you're going to have a rude awakening at 5 or 6 a.m. if you wake up to these temperatures across North Mississippi. As the day goes on, those clouds clear out and we make way for plenty of sunshine, so that's where we can be thankful this Thanksgiving, at least for the weather side of things. I know we have a lot to be thankful for. Go ahead and drop it down in the comments below and let us know what you're thankful for this Thanksgiving season. I know we're thankful for you guys and all of your support that you've given us here at Mississippi Live Weather. We would not be here without you, and we've been able to grow together so much throughout this year, and it's only been just a couple of months. So we have a lot to go through. We have hopefully stay on air for a good while and see how we're able to grow continuing. But I just want to say that we are very thankful and have a lot of gratitude for everyone here in North Mississippi. As we keep that forecast going, taking a look outside this evening, Greenwood coming in with 39 degrees already. Dew Point at 34, meaning there's still some room to drop as we head into those overnight hours. But aside from that, we have a beautiful night sky with plenty of stars up there in the sky. Get out there and enjoy it as we bring in that Thanksgiving holiday. Going to be a good one for sure. Monroe County, Aberdeen, 37 degrees. Dew Point at 28. Yeah, at freezing, not exactly out of the realm of possibilities, but it's just got a little bit to go before we reach that point. Either way, 37 or 32 is going to be cold. That's what I'm talking about. Thaw out for your Thanksgiving. That's the only way we'll be able to enjoy it, is if we can get past all these cold temperatures. 43 degrees in Columbus, Dew Point at 27. Highway 82. I think this is the clearest I've ever seen it here on our Mississippi Live Weather, our Mississippi Department of Transportation cameras. But folks heading out and about, probably going to be a little bit more busy towards tomorrow morning as folks work their way to see friends, see family, and enjoy this Thanksgiving holiday and take it in with the ones they love the most. As we look at Mississippi Live Weather radar, not anything to note on our radar right now. As you can see with those dry conditions and clear air mode reigning supreme across the area. I told you tomorrow's a forecast to be thankful for. We've been seeing this forecast all day long. Dry conditions have been in place with no ounce of cloud in our sky, so that's where we've seen those dry conditions reign supreme. Where that's not exactly a good thing is with our drought monitor, getting the updated one tomorrow whenever Thanksgiving, of course, Thanksgiving comes around the corner. That Thursday also when the drought monitor comes out, and that's where we expect some of these conditions to honestly look better with how much rainfall we've received this week, hopefully making a dent on that drought monitor, making things shape up a little bit more nicely for our drought monitor tomorrow. But as we look at the area, this is the percent of normal precipitation over the past 30 days. You can still see a lot of dry areas with 30 to 40% of our total rainfall. So we need that number to be at or around 100, getting better chances out there towards DeSoto County, Marshall County, actually above average, and same thing there towards Ripley and Tippah County, 119%. So we want it to be 100 or more, and only getting that in a few spots, even out there in Pontotoc. Right on the money, 103%. The rest of us below average, and I know a lot of folks are feeling that if their crops have died or the harvest wasn't as well as it could have been. That's just due to how dry things have been. So that will continue to remain in place heading into this weekend. But by this weekend, we're getting some much needed rainfall, and it's going to hopefully not look like this, but maybe a little bit of that measurable amount of rainfall. I want to show over the past 7 days, we've gotten upwards of about, well, let's just highlight in a few of these totals, 3 to 4 inches in some spots. So things have definitely looked good this past week, and that should definitely make a dent on the drought monitor, especially in this level 3 area that we saw on our drought monitor earlier. Got a lot of rainfall this past 7 days, so things are going to be trending a lot better into our drought monitor tomorrow. Next 2 days, though, not tracking much more rainfall, so that could be a setback on that drought monitor, but we'll see tomorrow where we currently sit at, and this weekend giving us some much needed rainfall as well, and that'll really make a dent on that drought monitor once again. So let's go ahead and expand things out and talk the latest on what we're seeing here on Mississippi Live Weather. I do want to say a little bit of moisture out there towards Wichita, even for parts of Missouri. Getting a few flurries up there in Missouri as well, but nothing like the snowfall they're experiencing around the Great Lakes. As you notice, I'm mentioning a lot of locations with moisture that's not North Mississippi. That's because we don't have a drop here in North Mississippi, staying dry into those overnight hours, so don't be expecting any rainfall in that forecast. As we expand it back in, the big driver in that forecast is going to be this high pressure center. Continue to cycle in that northern air, so maybe a few passing clouds, but honestly, no drop of rainfall and not really a ton of moisture in that forecast. Going to keep those dew points low and keep our forecast dry as a result. So futurecast, yes, I know, we're talking about no rainfall, and you're saying, Gabe, there's green moving through the area. Not exactly believing this forecast. So one of the things we do as meteorologists is look at what Futurecast and what models put out and assess it. And what we're assessing right now is a very dry atmosphere, which is not exactly aligned with a rainy forecast. So even a few sprinkles, not even expecting that in our forecast just because of how dry that environment is. Still getting these winds coming out of the north, and that's supplying us with that even drier air. So a lot of this, if any moisture does move into the area, going to be elevated and really going to be in the form of cloud cover. We have dry conditions overnight and for the start of our Thanksgiving. I told you it's a forecast to be thankful for, and this is definitely one to be thankful for as we stay dry for the start of our holiday. As the day goes on, a lot of that cloud cover shifts out there towards the east, and these winds become much more breezy, driving out a lot of that moisture and giving us those clear conditions by mid-morning. As we enter into that noon hour as well, that high pressure just inching closer and closer, and that is going to keep those forecasts dry as can be for the entirety of our Thanksgiving holiday, that lingering into the afternoon as well, but those will continue into the evening of our Thanksgiving. The next 24, right around slightly above freezing for the start of the day, but as the day goes on, we're talking 42 by 9, 49 by noon, and low 50s there by 3 p.m. But that little bit of cloud cover we have in the morning, clearing on out, making way for a sunny forecast from there on out. So if you can handle the cold, it's definitely a forecast you want to get out and about for. It's going to be a good one. And then as we head overnight and into our Black Friday, it's going to have a deal when it comes to the forecast, but that deal does come at a cost. Yes, have to bring in some shopping references, but we'll be looking at that Black Friday forecast in a little bit more detail here from the Room to Room Weather Center. Coming up here in the next 60, we're also going to be talking about Egg Bowl. We're talking about Iron Bowl. We're talking about high school football. Yeah, there's a lot to still talk about. We'll see you back here in the next 60 for Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
I don't remember how it started.
Talk to Dad.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynard.
A rainy forecast shaping up for this weekend, but dry conditions until then. As you see, Saturday 51 degrees, Sunday 52. Going to see some off and on showers, but that highest percentage honestly towards our Saturday with a few rumbles expected as well. But high temperatures only in the low 50s, not exactly an unstable environment. So a lot of those storms not reaching the highest storm tops, meaning we're not expecting severe weather whenever it comes to this forecast, but the temperatures remain below average. It is going to be a cold forecast, rain or shine, but we're definitely enjoying that shine heading into the next couple of days. Our Mississippi Live weather radar staying on the drier side overnight, not tracking any rainfall, and we'll stick with those dry conditions even heading into our Thanksgiving. As you take a look, water vapor overnight, a little bit more of that moisture moving in. Hard to tell with our water vapor imagery right now. So as we bring it into some of our satellite imagery showing a little bit of those enhanced areas of moisture, we are getting a little bit of those thin clouds working their way through that North Mississippi area and really building the further north you go. So some of this cloud cover does move into North Mississippi, but no rainfall is expected within that, and we will stay on the drier side into your Wednesday night and the start of your Thursday. So looking at that day planner overnight, no chance of rainfall expected. A few clouds off and on, but that's the extent of what we'll see up in the sky. 37 degrees by midnight, falling off into the mid to potentially lower 30s by the time we head out the door tomorrow morning. So if you're getting a head start on that Thanksgiving meal, I hope you have layers handy, because even with the heat on, you're going to feel this cold as we enter into our Thanksgiving. Definitely a noticeably cooler forecast than where things have been for sure. Overnight tonight, here's a look at that cloud cover trying to move into the region, but we're not expecting any rainfall with that forecast. Yes, I know Futurecast tries to put a few sprinkles on there. Not exactly sold on that forecast, because you can see based on these arrows, winds still coming out of the north. So it's a very dry forecast. So honestly, it might be a brief drizzle, but that's really it. If we get anything, I expect a lot of these to be elevated and a lot of these to actually be in the form of cloud cover. Not exactly sold on those rain chances for our overnight hours, but honestly, guys, we should be asleep at this point. It's not Black Friday just yet, so we don't have to stay up overnight for those deals. We will enjoy those great conditions as we get into the start of our Thanksgiving. But yeah, not expecting this much rainfall, not expecting any rainfall in our forecast overnight. Still going to be a very dry and mostly clear forecast overnight. Our low temperatures, 34 degrees in Tupelo, 33 Water Valley. I am seeing at freezing for Bruce and Kosciuszko and yes, Hamilton, Alabama. So some areas going to be at freezing, others slightly above. Does it really matter? It's just going to be a cold forecast for the start of the day, so definitely crank that heat if you haven't already to stay on the warmer side towards tomorrow morning. Now let's go ahead and get into Futurecast for your Thursday morning, your Thanksgiving morning. I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody here from Mississippi Live Weather. Shaping up to be a good forecast, so I hope you guys are ready for it, and I hope you guys are ready for some good food in the process. I know I am for sure. Thursday morning staying on the drier side, and even that little bit of cloud cover we do have clearing on out, making way for an even drier and an even clearer forecast for the rest of our Thanksgiving. There by noontime, should enjoy beautiful lunch plans if you want to get a Thanksgiving lunch in order. Yeah, it's going to be good conditions for that. Heading to the park or heading to anything. I know those family flag football games, or family football games, should I say. I don't know if you do flag football. I guess regular football. It's going to be good forecast for it nonetheless, and probably recommend to do that by the mid-afternoon, because that's when temperatures are going to be at their highest. Not necessarily a warm forecast, but at least warmer than freezing. So 1:30 still remaining with those dry conditions. You do see cloud cover starting to build there on the west side of this high pressure center. That's going to be our forecast moving into the weekend, but for our Thanksgiving, looking good to go. Not expecting any moisture in that forecast for sure. Let's go ahead and bring it back in here to North Mississippi. A little bit better view right there. High pressure just inching closer and closer to us here in the area. So by 6 p.m., still dry, still clear, and enjoying a great forecast overnight and into our Black Friday. I mentioned that high temperatures will be highest by the mid-afternoon. We're only talking low 50s for a lot of us, even upper 40s along the Tennessee state line. So if you're looking for warm weather, go down to Miami, because it's not here in North Mississippi, at least not anymore. That frontal system that pushed through earlier on this week drove a lot of that warm air out towards the east, leaving us with our more, I'll say, November, like how it should be for November type forecast. Expanding things out, once again, you can see high pressure just moving right over the top of us overnight and into our Black Friday. So to be honest with you, I'm curious if anyone even waits out anymore for overnight deals heading into your Black Friday. I used to growing up, and it was always a fun time to get out there and enjoy getting some toys on a deal when my parents took me. But I've not heard of many people doing that anymore. Maybe the mall over here in Tupelo might still do it, or might allow people to come in early. I'm curious if anyone knows that in the chat. Go ahead and let me know. But forecast, at least looking good for that, if people still do that, of waiting out outside. 3 a.m. still clear conditions. It is going to be a cold forecast, though, as temperatures drop into the upper 20s for the start of our Black Friday. Oh man, it's going to be cold. So have those layers ready. And as we're heading out to the Egg Bowl by mid to late morning, it's going to be another cold one in cloud cover, blocking a little bit of that sunshine. Not exactly a recipe for success. And it is going to limit how warm it feels outside. So have those layers ready. 2, 3 might be appropriate as you cheer on the Rebels and the Bulldogs as they take each other on in the Egg Bowl around that 11, 12 o'clock time frame. Even continuing that forecast into the afternoon, I mentioned that once that high moves out towards our east, that those winds shift to more of a southerly wind, bringing in a lot of that moisture towards Mississippi, and the Magnolia State going to be covered a little bit more than where things have been for today and where things will sit for our Thanksgiving. By 6 p.m., still enjoying those dry conditions, but yes, cloud cover is building. And if we expand things out even a little bit more, you can see that we do have rainfall in the forecast. Going to be driving that into our forecast once we move further into our Saturday. Starting light out there in Texas, but the potential for a few rumbles of thunder in our forecast on Saturday is not an impossibility. So tracking that, of course, as we head further into the forecast, but have that rain gear ready by Saturday and honestly by Sunday too. High temperatures for your Friday going to be in the upper 40s once again along the Tennessee state line, but here in the central portion of our viewing area, we're talking low 50s, even down there around the Golden Triangle, and yes, in Starkville for your Egg Bowl forecast around 51 degrees as well. So have those layers ready. 50 degrees is still a cold forecast in my opinion. Your Thanksgiving forecast staying mostly sunny, re-emphasizing the good in this forecast. Make sure that you guys express what you are thankful for, and of course let the forecast be one of those on that list. Because yes, there are much colder temperatures, but those drier and sunnier conditions are continuing to remain in place. And we will be at freezing to start. So yes, a cold one, but by the afternoon, low 50s with plenty of sunshine. That's a good forecast, and I am so excited to be experiencing that and so excited to bring that in with family and eat some good food in the process. But I know what we are all paying attention to as we get further past our Thanksgiving, and that is the exciting time of the Egg Bowl on our Friday. Ole Miss traveling down to Davis Wade to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. As you can see, that 11 o'clock kickoff on your Friday morning going to be cool, 46 degrees first play. They're getting into that halftime time frame, 49 degrees and 51 towards that final snap. Now, I will say, if cloud cover builds in a little bit earlier, these temperatures take a step back, and it is going to be a cooler forecast, but nonetheless, I mean, upper 40s, low 50s, enough to have an extra layer to stay warm as you head through your Egg Bowl forecast. Your high school game of the week forecast in West Point last week, and West Point, of course, playing this week. We'll hear from our Will Kohlmeyer happening Friday evening on the latest North Half matchups, but we are heading to Oxford versus Tupelo here in Tupelo, and that forecast shaping up pretty nicely in the sky, but cold on the field, 43 degrees pregame, 38 halftime, and guys, 34 final snap. That's the thing I don't envy this time of year whenever it comes to football games, is it's going to be a cold one for sure. Last week, I think we were in the 60s. This week, close to freezing. So this might be the week where the khaki shorts end their reign and we get some longer pants, at least warmer pants in the process, because 34 degrees is not an exciting time when I'm staring at that forecast. And as we continue that forecast into your Saturday, Alabama taking on Auburn at Jordan-Hare, going to be that kickoff around 6:30 p.m. and a cold one at that as the Crimson Tide come into town. 46 degrees for the first play, 44 around that final snap. Mid-40s, yeah, enough to layer up. So as you travel down to Auburn, make sure to have those layers on standby at Auburn. I saw some folks in chat talking about it. It's going to be a good one, I think, because every time they play at Auburn, something incredible happens. That fourth, and I think it was 17, 2 years ago, is when Alabama beat Auburn on that prayer. Who was that to? I'm going to look it back up because it was incredible. My wife and I were watching it, and it was just like, no way that happened. So miracles do happen for both sides. We also remember the kick six, so both sides have experienced pain in Jordan-Hare. So we will see what happens on Saturday, but excited for that matchup, and I know a lot of folks that I know back in Alabama are as well. Our 7-day forecast stays dry through that Black Friday time frame, but as we inch closer to Saturday, rain chances move into the area. For any folks heading over to Auburn, it's going to be heading further east, so with that system out towards our west, you're basically running away from the rain chances, and I think you're going to do a good job at that, staying dry throughout that game time. Sunday, rain chances continue to work their way through the area, and that lingers in the forecast by Monday before drying up slightly by Tuesday, but really by Wednesday next week. And once we enter that drier spell, we're talking cold temperatures once again. So if you're getting sick of the warm air, Well, I hope you're ready for some cold temperatures. Our Thanksgiving already giving us a hint of that with those at freezing temperatures. But I do want to say, make sure to be thankful this time of year. It is such a good time to reflect on all the blessings that God has given you. And so make sure to do so as you head into your holiday tomorrow. Like I said at the beginning, we are thankful for you guys, but I want to express for me personally, I'm very thankful for my family, my beautiful wife, my wonderful, of course, family, my dogs, and of course, Cruz. I want to emphasize him. His first Thanksgiving, albeit it is in Mom's tummy, it is still the first one, so we're excited for it. And I know we're excited for some good food as well, but I just want to express that I'm very thankful for all the blessings that God has given me, and of course, the blessing of being here at Mississippi Live Weather with you guys, and you guys are phenomenal. Phenomenal crowd and phenomenal being a part of what we're doing here in North Mississippi. As we head into Black Friday, I mentioned that it's going to have a good deal when it comes to the forecast, but that deal coming at a cost with 28 degrees towards that morning low. So bundle up for the next couple of days and bundle up and stay dry heading into the weekend. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for being active. I love seeing all the activity at the 10 o'clock hour. You guys always put on a show, and I love reading this back and seeing all the interactions. So I see a lot of folks mentioning snow. No snow in this forecast. I think we're good on that front. So not tracking any snow. So unfortunately, we'll have to give it a little bit longer for folks that are wanting some snow. I'm ready for some turkey and NFL football games. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Luckily, Detroit has a closed stadium. Forgot all about that. So shout out Matt for reminding me on that front. But yeah, Detroit dealing with a lot of snow. So if you're traveling up to Detroit, make sure to have layers and honestly, get your sleds out because it's going to be a snowy one up there. But not here in North Mississippi. No, we are looking good, and we are staying dry in that forecast. All right, as we wrap this show up, make sure to go ahead and download the Mississippi Live Weather app. Again, a big thank you to everyone who's already downloaded it and folks that will download it. If you want the best holiday present, well, that is giving the Mississippi Live Weather app to someone that you know, someone you love. Screenshot this QR code, send it to them, and let them download the latest app that will keep them informed on the weather, not just here in North Mississippi, although that is our priority. We do the entire nation and try to keep folks updated on what that forecast is, and we appreciate everyone who has supported us on this journey so far. Our next broadcast happening tomorrow morning, a little bit of a different setup when it comes to the shows tomorrow. Going to do a mid-morning update as well as a show towards the evening. Of course, the Mississippi Live Weather team keeping eyes on it behind the scenes, but with how dry of a forecast this is, we're gonna limit our broadcast tomorrow just a bit, but still going to keep you guys informed on what that forecast is. Keep your phone on for alerts, and we'll send out those notifications when we are going live, and we'll track the latest for your forecast heading into your Egg Bowl and heading into your high school football forecast. But from all of us here at Mississippi Live Weather, I want to say happy Thanksgiving. You guys have a great day. Enjoy some great food. Send us some pictures of your turkey day, and we will see you back here at Mississippi Live Weather on your Thanksgiving.
By the time you see the symptoms of lung cancer, it could be too late. Now there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early. If you smoked, get scanned.